Today, we're diving into some surprising news from the Apple world. It turns out that Apple's latest iPhone 16 series might not be as popular in the US as many of us anticipated. Despite being released towards the end of Q3 2024, reports are suggesting that the iPhone 16 lineup hasn't quite captured the same excitement as last year's iPhone 15 series. So, what went wrong? Let's break down what's happening. The iPhone 16 lineup, which includes the iPhone 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, and 16 Pro Max, only managed to account for about 20% of Apple's total US handset sales in Q3. Now, you might think that's a decent result for a newly launched series, but here's the kicker. The iPhone 15 lineup performed noticeably better during the same timeframe last year. One reason behind this dip could be the delay in Apple Intelligence, Apple's AI platform, which many fans have been eagerly awaiting. The AI feature has yet to fully roll out, and this lack of innovation seems to have dampened the excitement around the iPhone 16. When we dig deeper into the specific models, things get even more interesting. The standard iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Plus only accounted for 4% each of Apple's Q3 sales. To put that into perspective, last year's base iPhone 15 model grabbed a solid 10% in the same period, making it one of the most popular iPhones. Clearly, the vanilla iPhone 16 isn't as attractive to consumers. Surprisingly, though, the iPhone 16 Plus did manage to outshine the iPhone 15 Plus, indicating that there's still interest in this model and possibly securing a spot for an iPhone 17 Plus next year. The 6.3-inch iPhone 16 Pro held steady with a 6% share, matching last year's 15 Pro. But in a setback for Apple, the 16 Pro Max isn't replicating the success of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, dropping from 9% to just 6%. This is likely a tough hit as the Pro Max models are often the biggest earners for Apple. What's clear is that Pro models continue to be Apple's crown jewels. The iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max models are still outselling their non-Pro counterparts, which might actually be good news for Apple. Rumor has it that next year's iPhone 17 lineup will include a new high-tech slim version, with Pro models holding a strong appeal. This move could keep Apple competitive in the premium market. And speaking of past success, the iPhone 15 lineup is still going strong. The iPhone 15 Pro Max in particular has seen a huge jump in sales, going from a 13% share with the 14 Pro Max to an impressive 22% in Q3 2024. It's Apple's most popular handset in the US, and it's definitely going to be a tough act for the iPhone 16 Pro Max to follow in the coming quarters. One other fun fact to note, the iPhone SE, Apple's budget-friendly option, still has its place in the market with a 4% share in Q3. While that may sound modest, this third-gen Southeast model has outperformed the iPhone 14 Plus, which has a similar form factor but better specs. This kind of loyalty is impressive for a mid-range phone that's several years old, and we're hearing rumors that an upgraded 4th-gen SE may be coming within the next 6 months, which could bring new life to this line. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know in the comments if you've upgraded to the iPhone 16 or if you're sticking with an older model. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for all the latest tech news and updates. See you next time. The smartphone industry is constantly evolving, with each new year bringing us flagship devices that push the boundaries of technology and design. In this video, we'll be taking a close look at the two biggest names in the smartphone world right now: Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max and Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra. Both phones are powerhouses in their own right, but how do they stack up against each other? Let's dive into the battle of the bigs. Design and size. As expected, Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max doesn't deviate much from its predecessor when it comes to design. The rectangular shape, soft corners, flat sides, and dynamic island pill-shaped cutout remain. This year, however, the screen has grown from 6.7 inches to a massive 6.9 inches, making it the largest display ever on an iPhone. Its bezels are even thinner, but the overall dimensions have changed slightly, measuring 163mm by 77.6mm. In comparison, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is slightly smaller at 162.3mm in height, but a bit wider at 79mm, making it easier to handle for users who love to use the S Pen for sketching or taking notes. Speaking of the S Pen, Samsung once again offers the stylus nestled into the bottom of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's a feature that remains unique to Samsung in the flagship market, and one that many users either love or ignore completely. The precision of the S Pen, developed in partnership with Wacom, is something to be admired, making it a fantastic tool for creative tasks. Apple, on the other hand, introduces some new tricks with its buttons. The Action button, which debuted in the iPhone 15 Pro series, returns, offering customizable functions for launching apps or activating Siri shortcuts. But the real star of the show is the new camera control button. This physical key, equipped with a capacitive surface, allows users to control the camera with a swipe, much like a traditional camera shutter button, enhancing the photography experience. Both phones come in sleek color options. The iPhone 16 Pro Max offers titanium finishes in white, black, natural, and the new Desert Titanium. Meanwhile, Samsung gives users a broader selection with titanium violet, yellow, black, and gray, and 3 exclusive colors if you order directly from Samsung's website. Display differences. When it comes to display, both phones boast impressive technology. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 6.9-inch OLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display that can drop its refresh rate to just 1 Hz, keeping your wallpaper or photos visible even when the phone is asleep. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra comes equipped with its signature AMOLED screen, also featuring a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display. However, Samsung has a slight edge here with its anti-reflective coating, which makes the screen much easier to see outdoors. In contrast, the iPhone struggles with reflections in bright sunlight despite its high brightness. Color accuracy is another area where the two phones differ slightly. The iPhone's display leans towards a yellowish hue, while the Galaxy has a bit of a teal tint. But with both phones offering blue light filters and adaptive color calibration, these differences are minimal in day-to-day use. One new feature for the iPhone 16 Pro Max is its ability to drop to an incredibly low 1 nit brightness level, making it easier on the eyes in dark environments. Samsung's display already hovers around this level, so both phones are excellent for nighttime use. Performance and software. Under the hood, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is powered by Apple's latest A18 Pro chip, built on a second-gen 3nm process by TSMC. This cutting-edge chip brings significant improvements in performance and efficiency, particularly when it comes to handling heavy tasks like gaming and AI-driven processes. Apple has also focused on better heat dissipation, addressing the overheating issues that plagued the A17 Pro chip. The Galaxy S24 Ultra, on the other hand, is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, specifically tuned for Samsung devices. While both chips are incredibly powerful, benchmarks show that Apple's A18 Pro takes the lead in CPU performance. However, in 3D graphics tests, the Galaxy S24 Ultra isn't far behind, offering stellar gaming performance. Both Apple and Samsung are pushing into the realm of AI, with dedicated NPU cores to handle AI tasks. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with Apple Intelligence, which will roll out new features gradually, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra already boasts AI-powered features like live translation, generative image editing, and transcript summaries. As for software, the iPhone runs iOS, which has seen some welcome changes this year, bringing it closer to the flexibility of Android. You can now place app icons anywhere on the home screen and even customize their colors. But if customization is what you're after, Samsung's One UI still reigns supreme with features like split-screen multitasking, themes, and more. Samsung has also stepped up its software update game, promising 7 years of updates for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, compared to Apple's 5-year commitment for the iPhone. Camera capabilities. Apple has made some significant upgrades to the cameras on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, particularly the ultra-wide camera, which now features a 48-megapixel sensor. The main camera remains at 48 megapixel, and the 5x telephoto camera comes with a 12-megapixel sensor. A new lens coating helps reduce the lens flare issue that has been prevalent in recent iPhone models, especially during night shots. Samsung, as always, is pushing the envelope with its camera hardware. The Galaxy S24 Ultra boasts a hopping 200-megapixel main camera, alongside a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 10-megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 50-megapixel 5x zoom camera. While the megapixel count might seem impressive, the real magic happens in post-processing. Both phones have excellent cameras, but Samsung has a slight edge in zoom performance, while the iPhone tends to over-sharpen fine details like leaves or grass. In low-light conditions, both phones perform admirably, but the iPhone's new lens coating helps reduce the flare and artifacts that can appear in night photos. Samsung, on the other hand, continues to struggle slightly with oversaturated greens in its images, but this is only noticeable when directly comparing photos side by side. Battery and charging. When it comes to battery life, both phones pack a punch. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 4,685 mAh battery, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra comes with a slightly larger 5,000 mAh battery. However, Samsung takes the lead in charging speeds, offering 45-watt wired charging compared to the iPhone's 20 watt. For wireless charging, Apple's MagSafe offers 25 watt, while Samsung's wireless charging maxes out at 15 watt. Conclusion. So, which phone is the better choice? It's a tough call. The iPhone 16 Pro Max impresses with its sleek design, powerful A18 Pro chip, and improved cameras, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra excels with its S Pen, higher megapixel count, and faster charging speeds. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference and whether you're more entrenched in Apple's ecosystem or Samsung's Android world. Either way, you're getting a top-tier smartphone that won't disappoint. What do you think about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Until then, take care. Goodbye.